Hi guys, so this is your girl AP. I decided to put out another video. I've been meaning to come back to YouTube to just discuss, the stock market, finances, investing. And so here I am. I just said to myself, let's just hop on and let me just talk and give my take on how things are going in the stock market and maybe a few stocks that you should be interested in. Okay, so overall, the stock market has been on a downward spiral, but based on what everyone was saying, this is expected, especially during the midterms. We have a new chair as far as, Jerome Powell stepping down. So, unfortunately, I've lost quite a bit in the stock market, but technically, you haven't lost it until you actually sell. So, I just want to encourage everyone to, just continue to hold on to your stocks, continue to invest in ETFs. I just think that that's extremely important right now due to the state of the economy. The reason why I say ETFs is because you get a basket of stocks, right? So instead of just investing everything in one individual stock, even though NVIDIA is the top company right now, I wouldn't lay all my eggs in one basket because you just never know. I've seen this stock over the past couple months. It went all the way down to around 175, and now it's hovering a little bit over 200. I feel like that's like our baseline, like the $200 mark. That's the safe. I call it the safety net, where I feel like if you see it drop under 200, you should definitely buy. Yes, so invest in those ETFs, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, and the total stock market. I feel like that's the safest. Of course, you're even if you see like a 1% downturn, I feel like if you invest while it's down 1%, 2%, 3%, like over the next few months, you will more than likely see that ETF bounce back. So that's just what I'm doing right now. I'm just continuing to invest in our ETFs, even though we're in a state of fear. So definitely check the fear and greed index. That's going to be extremely helpful. Some individual stocks that I'm interested in right now, definitely TerraWolf. They are down right now from the highs. I believe the highs were around $29, but the price target is around $33. So if you can get that stock under 20, I would say it's definitely a buy. Some of our beta stocks, I'm invested in Nokia. I'm also invested in Navitas. Another honorable mention, another stock would be Applied Digital. Now, all of those stocks that I mentioned are working with NVIDIA. So, except for TerraWolf, they're working with Google. So yes, be on the lookout for those. Those are beta stocks, like I said. When we're talking about Max 7, you can continue to invest in those, even though, those prices are fluctuating. That would be your Tesla, that would be your NVIDIA, which I feel I would definitely continue to invest in NVIDIA. Then you have Google, Meta. Meta really hasn't done much lately. Then you have Amazon. So invest in those top stocks, invest in those that are weighted heavily in the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. And if you don't want to be so tech heavy, definitely invest in the total stock market. So this year, I've maxed out my Roth IRA. My goal is to not necessarily max it out as soon as January arrives, top of the year, but just to invest a large portion in January, and then on any major pullbacks, that's when I invest as well. So I believe I maxed out my Roth around May this year. My goal is always to max out before my birthday. My birthday's in June, Team Gemini. But yeah, so once that's complete, I just feel like, I invest through my company and I get the match, and, you know, maybe I'll add a little bit more, maybe not, and then I invest in my brokerage. Yeah, guys, so give me some time because this is coming off the top of the dome, and I just want to put a video out there because I haven't really been on here that much. So yeah, guys, if you have maxed out your Roth IRA, if you are investing through your company, just simply receiving that company match, I feel like you're doing your job. We're going to see some crazy swings, I feel like, for the next couple of years. Unfortunately, what's happening in Iran, unfortunately, what's happening and what's going on, in on Capitol Hill, unfortunately, those things are, they have us operating in fear. So you're going to see some wild swings. Unfortunately, we've been down. July typically is a strong month, but that just hasn't been the case. I feel like we were warned. Fair warning was issued. Just based on the history, just, what they said, like whenever we receive a new chair, whenever there's a midterm coming up, and definitely whenever there's war or just inflation, all of these issues, it definitely affects the economy. So, hey, receive your company match, max out your Roth IRA, get those tax advantages, and that's all we can do for now. But definitely save. I would say I'm going to leave this video on a note of put your cash away. If you have any extra cash, any extra savings, put it to the side in a savings account, high yield savings account. That's what I've been doing. Pay your bills, take care of your responsibilities, but keep cash on hand. And I think you'll be good. Continue working. And, credit card debt is a thing. Debt is a thing. Interest rates are high right now. So, pay down that debt if you can, and definitely put your cash to the side. But yes, if you want to support me, please hit me up on Gmail. Hit me up. I'll have, my Cash App down below as well. Give me some topics of discussion. I'm interested in what you all want to hear about. Definitely interested in growing my channel, but appreciate you guys for tuning in. Yeah, so we're seeing some wild swings in the stock market. Definitely hit me up, and I look forward to talking to you guys later.